Hope bigger than a hell rain, moves like you heard on the decks. Glover hold the court and give the chief no suspect. Politics in the mix, like Gumbo Stewart Rich. Spinning tales from Black Wall Street, real life's the pitch. Donnie Glover Show, be more news. 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 Business tips hotter than lava. Got that Midas touch. Stocks and blocks teaching youngins how to clutch. Ears to the concrete, finger on the pulse. Dropping wisdom like Hova, each word a joke. Donnie Glover Show, be more news. 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 Walls painted black, history on lock. Blast off from Tulsa, rebirth like a clock. Markets rising from ashes to gains. Donnie the narrator, truth runs in veins. Donnie Glover Show, be more news. 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 Business tips hotter than lava. Got that Midas touch. Stocks and blocks teaching youngins how to clutch. Ears to the concrete, finger on the pulse. Dropping wisdom like Hova, each word a joke. Donnie Glover Show, be more news. 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 Walls painted black, history on lock. Blast off from Tulsa, rebirth like a clock. Markets rising from ashes to gains. Donnie the narrator, truth runs in veins. Donnie Glover Show, be more news. 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 Be news.
First name's Donnie, last name's Glover, in it to win it for the long haul, baby. Welcome back to the Remember Who You Are series, the Indigenous series. We founded this around August the 15th, and we have been blossoming with followers and supporters from across the country. Before we jump in, let me shout out some of the comments from the last episode. Marlon, talking about razor strap hanging on the bathroom wall. You gonna get it when Papa gets home. Man, that's the Black Indigenous experience right there. Psychological warfare that kept us in line. I remember I was about 3 years old. We lived at Patterson Park in Lanville. My mother said, don't go on Bradford Street. The boogeyman gonna get you. Were any of you told that story? The boogeyman gonna get you. Marlon asking about Carl H. Brown from Compton, married to Lorraine Bell Burrows from Kalamazoo. Light brown eyes, medium complexion, now questioning if he was indigenous. Brother, the fact that you never thought about it is exactly why we do this show. The erasure was that complete. Awanasa, she's one of our regulars in the chat, talking about fraternal grandfathers who were spiritual men. Kevin dropping knowledge about Christopher Columbus really being Salvador Fernandez Zarco, a secret agent. Somebody said too much of anything is a bad thing. Facts. This is what we do here. We dig. We probe. We ask questions. Not while the phone is ringing. So without further ado, let's get to our main apple scrapple. Sorry for the interruption there. Hannibal, you backstage? My man, 500 grand.
Hey, what up, though, Donnie?
How you living, brother?
Oh, I'm doing good. Doing good. How you doing?
Brother, I'm grateful.
Yes, sir. It's a good
I've
day.
been waiting on 8 o'clock all evening, and finally get there, and I messed around and was too slow.
Okay.
I got something proper for you. Hold tight for a second. This is just for you, brother.
Okay.
Bam!
It's Scopo, Ricky, Rico, Lucusi, Johnny, Gators, and Mussolini, Hannibal, plays in this party. Red Nana, Red Tsunami, Red Creeks, and a Red Ferrari, Red Clay, will write your bodies, Pentacle, and X a body, ya, blessed. They call me Mr. Manifest. You fellas screaming out the chest. I got this technique better. I found my destination through a red light. Rock your soul through the daylight. Hot your going crazy, right? Nancy going crazy, right up, man, fight. I'm purple haze through the night. I'm thinking chili out of spite. I'm thinking Suki for the slice. I'm speaking Alabama cream. I'm South Dakota through the streets. I vodka rage on the tape. Koozie King is outrageous. Koozie. I'm talking, they call me Nico Tussanookie. Like a fame, like a doobie. In the field, such a core. And I got something funny.
I saw you rocking over there, brother.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like that one.
My man, 500 grand. So, what's the latest on your end in terms of, we say run it back, run it. She say run it back, man. She said she want to say it again. She said run it back, man.
Run it back.
We don't disappoint.
It's Scopo, Ricky, Rico, Lucusi, Johnny, Gators, and Mussolini, Hannibal, plays in this party. Red Nana, Red Tsunami, Red Creeks, and a Red Ferrari, Red Clay, will write your bodies, Pentacle, and X a body, ya, blessed. They call me Mr. Manifest. You fellas screaming out the chest. I got this technique better. I found my destination through a red light. Rock your soul through the daylight. Hot your going crazy, right? Nancy going crazy, right up, man, fight. I'm purple haze through the night. I'm thinking chili out of spite. I'm thinking Suki for the slice. I'm speaking Alabama cream. I'm South Dakota through the streets. I vodka rage on the tape. Koozie King is outrageous. Koozie. I'm talking, they call me Nico Tussanookie. Like a fame, like a doobie. In the field, such a core. And I got something funny.
All right, so Hannibal, we gotta do something different tonight. You ready for this?
Yes, sir.
You ready for tonight's show?
I'm ready.
All right, she ain't been here in a while. Marcia, if
Okay.
you're ready, give me a nod. All right. Marcia Hughes, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much. It's been a minute since I've been on. Thank you for having me.
How you doing?
Indeed.
I'm great.
Indeed.
Still standing.
Planet. You ever met Marcia Hughes Planet?
No.
Marcia, me Planet well.
Oh,
He lives in Hawaii, but he
oh,
a New York. Yeah, he New York baby dog.
oh, okay. Where in Hawaii?
Maui.
Oh, tough duty.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yes, ma'am. So how your day been?
Still standing. It's
Okay.
No, that's right.
that part.
So
That
I think we talked before, haven't we? Didn't you say something about being from Michigan or something?
well, I'm from South Bend originally, but I've lived in Detroit.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
That's where I'm from Detroit.
Yeah. I
Yes.
live in Strathmore.
Strathmore. Yeah, my mother used to live on Hubble Street, Hubble
Oh,
and Grand
really?
River. Yeah, right there by it.
A while ago.
Yeah. So I know exactly where Strathmore. I grew up down there by Murray Wright High School, down there 14th Grand River area.
Child, it's been 100 years ago.
Yeah, Tiger Stadium, old Tiger Stadium.
Okay. All right. That was getting close to the county, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Didn't forget too much.
Yeah.
That's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Well, for me too. So I've been outside of Detroit for about 10 years, a decade now.
I left there and went to California.
Yeah, I went down to Alabama, down to where my ancestors come from. I used to live in Birmingham, then I moved to East Lake in Inglenook down in Alabama.
Oh, okay. I've never been to Alabama.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful place. It's
And
different.
so now where do you live?
Well, I live we're outside of Detroit in Ipsy. Yeah.
Okay.
So
You
I'm
get
not that far.
older there, child. Lord have mercy.
Oh yeah, woke up yesterday, it was like negative 13 degrees.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I remember why I didn't live there anymore.
That is negative. Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. It's bad.
That's real. South Bend gets some serious snow too.
I know this whole area, like from Chicago to Indiana to Illinois, Ohio, we got some bad weather, cold and snow.
It's serious too, man. It ain't no joke.
Right, it is. You know, I think we got a few inches today.
Okay.
Yeah, we got quite a bit. I mean, I've got folks out on the street. They park their cars, and I don't know how they're gonna get out because the snow it's real close to a lot of the cars' handles.
Okay.
It's going to be interesting watching them, how deep that snow is going to be. But we're okay. We're all locked in and ready. So y'all can do what you want to do out there, but we ain't going out there.
Right. I got to be out there early in the morning, though. But Donnie asked me what I was doing. So today my research was like, one of the things I was researching is like how the natives survived in weather like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that the Iroquois had like these things called long houses. And they could be as long as 100 feet long, about 25 feet wide. And they housed dozens of people. And they had like in the center, they had a couple fire pits. And they said that the house was generated heat by the fire pits and the body heat. So that's how they stayed warm during the wintertime.
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah, because I had to think about it like, wow, these folks didn't have houses like we have now. Well, the Muskogee did, because the Muskogee had like kind of shelters like this, like we live in currently now. But the Iroquois tribes, like the Cherokee and the Mohawk and tribes like that had these long homes, and then like put snow to the side, like an igloo on the side or whatever.
You need to write that book, brother.
Oh yes, ma'am. That's what I'm in the process of doing now. It's so many points that I can start with. But
just do it. Get a recorder and just do it. Just do it. Don't even think about it. Just turn it on and let it tape itself, and then do it. That's what I'm getting ready to do. I'm gonna do it come the January 1st. I'm going to go ahead and sequester myself and just talk, get it done.
Yes, ma'am. I understand. So how you doing, Planet?
I'm good. I'm good.
So
Yeah. Just
how things faring for you in that side of the world?
well, the weather is great.
Oh, where are you?
Maui.
Oh, tough duty.
Yeah.
What are you?
Yeah.
How you gonna talk about us?
I
Man,
didn't say
out
I
in the
didn't say
dog
anything.
I can't even open
I
up the
I,
back door, and
I
you gonna sit
listened.
and talk about I'm in Maui? Oh, okay.
I listened to the complaints. I
I
stayed
just want to
silent.
trade places. That's all I do.
And Hannibal talking about the people, dealing with the coal in the ancient days. That wasn't me. I wasn't on that set. I can tell you that right now. But
Good.
yeah, I'm all good. I'm all good.
That's great. That's great.
Okay, folks, we're gonna start this party off. We got a special guest on the line with us, Alice Toriente. Good evening, Aunt Alice.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Aunt Alice, catch us up on the news. What's been happening around the country?
Well, primarily what's been happening is all eyes have been on Minnesota and what's going on there, and the unconscionable killing of the second person who was a male nurse with a gun who had a permit to carry the gun, and how the folks in charge, the people with a known group, have been lying about what has transpired and how they are not allowing the local officials to be involved in the investigation. So that's been the really big news, and how the people in Minnesota have come out to support the folks who have been menaced by ICE.
Uh-huh.
And of course, the weather is the main focus of what's been going on here. I heard the young man say he was in Maui. I certainly envy him being in that warm weather, because we are here today and it's not really that good. Everything's shut down. People are going to be working from home, and it's quite a different thing. In fact, the press didn't even come on at its usual time today, because Channel 11 was busy giving a weather report. So I'm not even sure whether Meet the Press actually came on today at all. That's what the weather and Minnesota, the two things that I've been hearing most about, and the fact that there were 7 Democrats who voted with the Republicans to give money to ICE. So the Democrats want to defund ICE because of what's going on in Minnesota. And there were 7 Democrats, who are not household names, who voted with the Republicans, so that the House so far, who want to continue giving money to ICE and to the folks who are going to be giving money to FEMA. So that's a big schism in the Democratic Party as we speak.
Anything else you want to add? Your thoughts, your commentary on this situation in Minnesota?
Well, it's just been really a sad situation, and ICE has just lost its mind, and the folks that are in charge are just lying, and the people who were witnesses to what had transpired are afraid to even talk to them, because they don't feel that they have the support that they would have. Attorney General Keith Ellison, the state's Attorney General Keith Ellison, has filed cases in court to make sure that they don't do away with the investigative materials that they have, because they're not allowing the local people to be involved. And of course, they're blaming the mayor, the governor, Walt, who ran as Kamala Harris's vice president, and the mayor of Frey inciting riots, when they are the ones who are doing what they are accusing them of. And they're saying, and then people are saying that those guys that they have acting as ICE folks have not even been trained properly. So it's a story yet unfolding, but it's just a very sad situation as far as what's going on there.
So I'm gonna ask you a personal question. How old are you?
A lady never tells her age.
Okay, but have you ever seen anything like this in your lifetime?
Never, and hope I'll never ever see it again.
We do. Thank you for joining us tonight, Aunt Alice.
My pleasure. Everyone, take care. Be safe.
Nice talking to you, Aunt Alice.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Aunt Alice. Take care.
Bye bye.
You know, I got into some conversations today. I normally don't really I try to steer away from like current things that's happening, you know, because people have strong opinions. But, you know, I was talking to one of my lady friend, and we was discussing the ICE and the ethical issues behind this and remaining quiet behind certain things like this. And, you know, I kind of understand where it comes from, but and then at the same time, she was pointing out to me like being quiet is like being wooded. You get what I mean? So I'm not wooded. So how do you guys think someone should approach a situation and talk about situations like this? Because you see how Aunt Alice was saying that people was afraid to even mention or even talk about this issue. So I'll leave that to anyone. How do we start conversations? That's what I'm trying to do now. What do you think? You know, how do you guys feel about the things you hear?
Well, you know, I do want to put this out because I'm feeling, you know, the hatred coming my way because I'm in Hawaii. So I just wanted to put this out there first, that I have lived in Chicago for 5 years, and I have lived in Minnesota, in St. Paul for 5 years. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So I deserve to be where I am. Now,
Yes.
in regards to this question, I mean, my feelings is horror, right? But it's not a horror that in different communities that I've been in since I've been on the planet that are predominantly melanated communities go through this all the time, right? I think that the reason why it's getting so much press attention is because it's non-melanated people getting shot, right? But the loss of life is horrible no matter who it is, what it is, when it is. You know, that's my feeling on it.
Right.
The other thing is you can parallel the actions of ICE in history. You know, so it reminds me of Germany in about 1935 or whatever. You know, it's a different time, of course, but it's the same. Seems like it's the same sentiment of when a government wants to control the people. It's just what I feel.
Wow.
Not to mention the agents that fall under the banner of an ICE agent, right? And clearly they haven't been trained well. And clearly a lot of them are from, what is it, January, 6th thing or whatever. So they got a chip on their shoulder too, and you can see that.
Right.
But anyway, that's my
That's your
feeling.
views.
Yeah.
Respect. Do you have any views, Miss Marsha?
I just think that we are in a whole nother place in the planet. We've got so much madness going on locally, regionally, nationally, globally. And it's how do you find your place in all of this madness? And how do we manage all of that? You know, you've got children, you've got communities, you've got teachers that and everybody has their own problems. And how do we look at every one of these cities that we're in? What is it that every city needs? What are we missing? What is it that we need as a community? How to walk in love, how to help each other, how to help people survive. Some people right now, we got snow outside, they don't have transportation. I don't even drive. And how do you get to where you need to go? And how do we take care of each other? How do we open up our doors to just be kind and to be helpful? There are a lot of young people. There's a little while ago, it's been maybe a couple of years now, I was working with Alvin Ailey Dance Theater Foundation of Maryland, and we had these middle school students. And it was really powerful. The little boy was sitting up in the bleachers in the gym. And he's in my head to this day, and it's been 10 years or more. And I said, Fidelma's really developing the program for you. We really want you to do this. And, you're going to learn a lot, and you're going to get to take away. And I had this whole thing, right? And this little boy looked at me and he said, Miss Marcia, you always trying to make somebody happy. He said, I don't even see myself living past 13. Now, all these years, that boy is still in my head. That boy is still in my head. And so as we look around and we go through it, you've got all this snow. How do we help our neighbors? How do we help our children? What are the children able to eat? Because now there's so much snow outside. Can't nobody get outside. The stores are closed would be closed. We've got a lot that we need to be doing to help our own communities. And this is huge on so many levels. And how to tap in and put our arms around each one of our community members. That's it. If people didn't go to get something to eat, are people able to eat in some of these households? Because some of those stores are closed. What are we doing to make sure they're okay? We got a whole bunch of snow out there. Are our community, are our neighbors okay?
Yeah, you said it best when you said it's like the situations is different in each location, and counteracting this narrative. How do we counteract this narrative that's out here?
Yeah.
I was thinking, the first 25 days is down for the year now.
Mm-hmm.
And how it looks is we in trouble.
Yeah.
We ain't even out of the first month of the year, and we're in trouble. And we can reflect on the history, but currently we live in currently now. So both of these things have to be in perspective. You get what I mean? So I'm more focused on how it looks for us in the future. So that's something that we have to talk about.
Yeah.
Politically, spiritually, financially, what do we do to help one another? Because the narrative now is self-preservation, getting the bag, and, not worried about everybody else, So how do we counteract that?
Mm-hmm. On a regular basis.
Right.
Because it doesn't go away, right? And
No, doesn't go away. Doesn't go away.
Agreed.
Mm-mm. But that's what situations or events like this is important, to be able to start having relationships that can be broader and in broader places to where assistance can be given. And it's how do we do that and stay together and stay the course?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hannibal.
Yes, sir.
Can you send Horace the link?
Yes, sir. I'm sending them that now.
Okay.
And while I'm doing that, you guys, is that, is You know, you said like broaden relationships. Like, do we stick to ourselves or do, you know, because the community now is more diversified. You get what I mean?
Mm.
And within our own families is those who historically had did things against those of our ancestors. So, but that's in the past. But right now we at a point in the future now that we got to decide how we collectively move on from from what I'm understanding, because it's no way that we should start a fight now and leave a generation of children 10, 15, 20 years from now to fight. You get what I mean? Because if we start now fighting, they're going to be fighting 10, 20 years from now. And children that's babies now are going to continue that fight. So how do we as adults get these people on both sides of the spectrum to see that your fight going to end up being children's fight? You get what I mean?
Mm.
So in looking at the fight of how do we educate our kids, the fight of how jobs are slowly moving into different directions opposed to all of the activity that used to be in this greater Baltimore area. How do we find our places to be able to help our young people? There was a program, Alvin Ailey Dance Theater Foundation of Maryland, and talking to those middle school kids really taught me a lot about what's happening in some of the households, what's happening in their classrooms, happening in their churches, and how do we put our arms around all of our community leaders, our communities themselves, that we make certain all the things that we're going through right now, how do we make certain that everybody is taken care of? What are we creating for them, for the kids and their families?
You know, I think we all be thinking more in maybe selfishly because we think about our own children and not thinking about collectively all the children in which we should be doing. You said something provocative. I seen a lady today, and she was in the snow. She had pajama pants on and gym shoes, and she was just walking around. And it was snowing hard this morning. It snowed from 5 o'clock this morning to like 6 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm looking, and there's nothing I could do. Nothing I could say, but I felt a certain way. So how it's a quagmire we in. You get what I mean? It's like a catch-22. You know, you want to do something, but it's certain things you can't do for certain situations. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And in some communities, they are communities where people will shovel the snow, where people will knock on the door and say, here's this, or want to be able to help you. Here's a little something to nibble on. If that's back in the day, that's what we did.
Mm-hmm.
We were a community and we helped each other. If there were somebody left something on the stoop next door, Miss Lee, I'm gonna go get it and put it in my house, and then I'm gonna call her and tell her I got your stuff in my house, just in case. How do we have that? I grew up in South Bend, Indiana, a little old Midwestern town, but everybody knew everybody, and we helped everybody because we were a community.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm loving about Baltimore. We have communities where people in our community are kind and walk in love.
Marsha, I just want to remind you that Hannibal is in Detroit and
Okay.
Planet is in Hawaii. And
What
we
part
have
of
people
Hawaii?
are watching this show from all over the country.
Great. Where in Hawaii?
I told you Maui.
Maui. Okay. Can't think of the name of the place in Hawaii. But I love other places. I didn't I thought that it was important for me to see what this country looked like. And I'm still always trying to find someplace new to go. I like Baltimore. I've made it my home, but that doesn't mean I can't still travel and see.
Shout out to the chat, brother Ori Shabazz, Big Ma, Baby, Our Nasa, French Wee Wee, Red Tail. They say Kim Trails is off his meds again, or her trails. I don't know. Diaries of a Mad. Wealth and Health. How you like that?
Mm-hmm.
I've shared some faces. This is Freddie Gray. I also shared
Wow.
Trayvon Martin, Eric Garner. Who else was in that? It was a whole series. Mike Jones. Remember Mike Jones?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people, number one, melanated people are staying home. Melanated people are staying away from ICE and all of that type thing. I heard and I'm just repeating what a lady said. I heard her comments online. She said that we are staying home because we know what time it is out there in the streets. She said that a spiritual thing is happening right now where white Americans who thought they were passing laws to further hurt black people are realizing that the laws that they got passed, including open carry permit, those laws were designed at hemming up white people. And now they're coming to that realization. At least that's what this one lady said. Let me welcome to the show a very special friend of mine. Not that you aren't special, Marsha. You are very special. Marsha's like my sister, and she can drive too. Planning, she can drive from Baltimore to New York in an hour 49 minutes, especially if I'm in the passenger seat talking smack. But we have a special guest to bring in. Let's bring in our homeboy. What's up, Horace? How you doing? Horace Lee the Fourth.
Peace.
All right, now that's Chicago right there, Marsha. That's Marsha Jews. You probably met her before. Now, our very special guest for the evening, besides Marsha, is all the way from LA, by way of Baltimore, the one, the only, the illustrious, the comedic. He's also, he counsels women. No, he's not a pimp. I said that wrong, Troy.
As soon as you say counsels women, Marsha was like, what? You know, the first thing you say, counsel what?
He's a comedian by trade, gentlemen. So this is to lighten us up, but also to keep it nice and balanced. You're going to smile this show, Horace. Horace, we're going to see some teeth this show. Watch.
I always smile, man.
Okay.
Horace said, I always smile.
I had an uncle like you, Horace. I said, Uncle Sammy, how come you don't smile? He said, I smile. Ain't nothing to smile for right now.
It's all good.
You're funny.
He said it's all good.
Yeah.
And then went back to frowning. It's all good.
Horace is the truck driver, man. But look, first of all, welcome back. You've been on here before. I don't know if you've been on this particular show. Have you been on this show, Troy?
No, not the Indigenous show. Is that what this is?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You got Indian in your family?
Don't we all? All of us got Native American in our family. We were here before Columbus. You ain't read the book?
That's right.
We are the Native Americans.
Listen, man, what's your take on ICE, man?
That.
I got a little bit in my you know, ICE has been around for a while. You know, this ain't new. Trump just, you know, the thing that Trump is doing right now is just to make sure that he's loud and acting like everything he's doing is new. You like we said, I think I said it on your show before. He's still number 3 amongst the presidents with the top exporting people out of here. Number 2 is Clinton. Number 1 is Obama. So He's still number 3 on the list as far as trying to get people out of here. Trump's just trying to be loud about everything. ICE is not a new not a new organization. What they're doing now, the way he's doing it, is a part of his thing. And I think it's horrendous the way he's killing white people. It's terrible.
So would you say it's a war within their ranks, within their own ranks?
Within.
What to say? Chickens coming to Popeyes. I forgot the saying. Chickens coming. I'm not gonna say that on here. Oh, that's right. This is Indigenous. It's to be on the Indigenous joint. The only way to make America great again to the Native American people is to exterminate all the exterminators, right? So I'm not being militant in saying this. It's comical. You said something about comical, but I'm just thinking about this now, how the overwhelming irony of it all is writing itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you earlier, D, we was talking. I said I think I'm more mad at the white late night talk show host than I am Trump. Trump's doing what he said he was gonna do. So I mean, but I had to look at what the pitch for Greenland really was. So you can't see that on CNN and the Democratic news bases. You can't see that on late night because they're talking about the atrocities of going in and taking over someone's land. And Trump came on the news and said, just because someone came here 500 years ago and claimed the land doesn't mean they own it. And I was like, how could you can't write that? Like, he told Greenland, just because Denmark and them came over to your land doesn't mean they own the land 500 years ago. And I was like, this sounds familiar.
The same goes for him.
But they going for Greenland because Trump has made bona fide enemies. And if I get Greenland, then if they start shooting missiles over, we can counteract them off of Greenland, including the nutrients and all that stuff. But really, Greenland for the U.S., outside of having some more territory and trying to, going to Venezuela, taking territory to try to do something about the debt and make more money and greed and blah, 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 is really a defense thing because he's scared within the next 2 years, China or Russia coming after him. So it's a weird thing. But this don't really have nothing to do with us. None of this. I mean, outside of being citizens it's going to be crazy, but to our Native American brothers and sisters, you talk to them, they looking like,
what y'all doing?
They acting crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Shooting white people dead in the street? Oh,
mm-hmm.
What's going on?
Yeah, well, I don't think that it's necessarily anything to be rejoiced for us to look for our oppressors to handle our problems for us.
At all.
So as soon as something happens where the arrow is shifted in the other direction, we start rejoicing that as if we are the ones that's handling the business. And then I also look at it too, like the movie Wag the Dog. It all could be just propaganda.
It all could be propaganda.
Overlay for the underlay.
Mm.
Yeah. Because while we're looking at the big thing,
that's deep. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, because when you watch the movies and you see the dude get shot in the streets in the movie, it looks real.
Right. It all looks real. And I'm here in LA where you can see things. And then Wag the Dog. It was funny how quickly they got Wag the Dog out the theaters and it never hit DVD.
Ain't that crazy, man?
But I remember going to the movie theater to see that movie. And it was around the time, and specifically, people almost forget, a lot of the stuff that went on with like, there's two reasons that even though, a lot of this stuff originally happened with Bill Clinton. We see it with Trump because Trump is a media guy. He's an advertisement. He's a pomp and circumstance guy. But Clinton was impeached, stayed in office, used the war, had sexual things against him, had all this stuff, had certain wars going on, 3 strikes you out, all this stuff. A lot of stuff went down under Clinton and the Clintons and their organizations and stuff like that. So this stuff is just how they do politics. But like you said, what do we do in this time as a people while because at the same time, Trump has set up certain policies and stuff to make certain things attainable. What are we doing to build our financial peace, our contingencies? What are we doing to strategize and own stuff and grab land and do things while all this stuff is going on? Yes, that's true. World is the stage. And but what are we doing? Like the brother said, what are we doing? Let's not get, because anything they show us on the news, think about how long it took before we realized what was really happening in Venezuela. And they started showing us blowing up boats while they were already doing missions in Venezuela. They were showing us boats blowing up in the water. Like, why are they blowing up boats coming from Venezuela? Oh, they trying to do something wrong. They were already in Venezuela when they did that.
Because
So
they're on a mission and they don't care.
They don't care.
Yeah, and you know, the way the media is set up is that we get the delayed information and we think that it's up to speed.
Mm-hmm. But I tell you one thing that's very serious. I'm glad you showed that map. So look at where Venezuela is to North America. Look at where Greenland is to North America. So there's a reason that the Republicans and the people are trying to attain the land masses closest to us,
So
before someone else gets them at this strategic time. So they're setting up, they're really playing war games right now. But this is just a sign of the times. They're playing war games.
Like battleship.
And the other stuff is just to keep us making sure the economy goes so people don't. The last thing they need to tell us is that, hey, at any given time, we're under threats of war. The presidents know stuff that we never know. And the military knows stuff that we never know. But the last thing they want to tell us is, hey, start going to the stores, and you see how the shelves clear when it's a snowstorm. Imagine they do a report saying, hey, there's a threat of war, so get everything you need to get, and this, that, and other. Get some non-perishable foods, get your water, get your tuna fish, hide your kids, hide your wife.
Right. I get what you're saying. So basically, it's like, this is like preemptive. You know what I mean? Getting Greenland, getting Venezuela, I get it.
Taking advantage of all of it.
So
yeah, nobody's talking about the files either. They don't care about them files. America has showed they really don't care about pedophiles.
They don't care about that thing unless it's happening about them.
Yeah, they don't really care about it.
They could care less. Especially for somebody of color, they don't care. You got melanin in your skin, you on your own.
Well, I think that's the illusion part of it, because they don't care about anyone
at all.
And they've been had the Europeans that's been on this land under the assumption that they had an opportunity to be in that 1%.
Mm-hmm.
So them trying to attain that 1% is what has had them fooled all this time. But they're no closer to the 1% than we are.
Right. That the economy was shut down if everybody could get some. So we need you to calm down. Everything's fine. Keep going to work.
Right.
Look how quickly Trump tried to get rid of COVID. He was like, look, this COVID stuff is all right. I got it. Oh, give me something for it. We have something for COVID. We're good. We're not shutting down the world again. They shut down the world. Everybody's on one accord. George Floyd gets killed and the world goes nuts. It was like, we can't do that again.
Yeah.
Hey, doesn't Venezuela have the biggest oil reserve?
Has the biggest oil reserve in the world.
In the world. Yeah.
Bigger
in the world. And from what I just heard, has a bigger gold reserve than Ethiopia, than Africa.
And see that's what me and Planet Wells be trying to tell the people all of the minerals and natural resources that they keep on talking about is in Africa, man. We got them right here on Turtle Island in abundance.
Well, that's the whole. Before there was the transatlantic slave trade, there was the transatlantic trade. Those statues that they haven't been able to deface in South America with the big noses and the huge heads and all that stuff. It's the reason why my godmother is from Guyana. You know, you remember Ron and Bob Passad when we started Club 347, the guys that owned it, shoot, they own 70% of Mount Vernon one time. They're from British Guyana, but you know, Trinidad and Tobago, but you know, the area that's called the West is the Caribbean. We still call, it's funny, we still call Native American Indians and the Caribbean, the West Indies, because of the whole Columbus thing. But there's a reason that they came into the Caribbean area first when they started coming. Well, they didn't know exactly where they were going, but when they came in and saw everything, and then they start realizing about how fertile the land was and all this, and coming up and down, and you know, and trying to track where the Native Americans had been. And some people talk about us as a people, and we're very. I think a lot of our hospitable nature comes from our Native American ancestry.
Interesting.
But I want to say in regards to them navigating here, those currents, you know, took them that way. They know exactly where they were going because
Trade winds.
yeah, the trade went with because they were
Trade
over
winds.
here before we kicked them out. We kicked them out from over here. That's how they ended up popping up in Egypt, Greece, and in other parts of Europe, et cetera, et cetera. But they had been here, so they already knew what was here. So as far as the transatlantic slave trade is concerned, that's is running along the same lines as Santa Claus and the reindeers.
The trade winds.
No, the trade, the slave trade.
The slave trade.
Yeah, man, it's Peter Pan, Santa
Yeah.
Claus, you know, the transatlantic slave trade, you know, Jack and Jill, all of those run along, they're in the same book. But
Oh,
some
you saying the
people
slave
think
trade? You saying the slave trade never happened?
Nah, man, not to that magnitude of what they're talking about. They took people from
No.
over
Oh,
here.
you talking about with them trying to say that they brought so many people from Africa and they brought them here. That's how many people. Yeah, that's wrong.
So
Yeah,
did
Those
you
people
guys?
are already here.
They took a lot of us over that way. They took a lot of us over that way, but man, we've been here for man, we've been here for millions of years, man. If that ever was a big bang, as soon as the bang was over, we were from Canada all the way to Chile.
So they did take the Carib, they call them the Carib Indians from the Caribbean islands, and they took them to Seville, Italy. And if anybody
that's why when he said, if you know, it's funny when people say, do you have like Indian in your family, Native American? It's like, you know, we a lot of us were Native American. You know what's so funny? When I did that interview with Kathy Hughes, you know, Kathy Hughes said part of that in her interview.
Okay.
She said, Troy, you know, many of us didn't come here through the slave trade.
Right.
She was talking about her lineage. And she said, the other thing people don't realize is that at one point in time, they were paying certain African businessmen to come over as skilled laborers. So how does that happen? During the 1700s and 1800s.
Do the Moors.
So that's a lot of the, and you can tell when you get over here to the West Coast, you can tell because there's a different, if you do the lineage of a lot of the wealthy African Americans in like LA and stuff like that, you realize it's like, when was there ever slave trade over this way?
What, Balboa went out that way?
But Los Angeles was formed by Mexicans of African descent. They got the mural in the subway station tells the history in ceramic underground here.
Yeah, but those
particular,
when you say African descent, those are Tainos. You know, for the most part. But I think that it's one thing that we forget is that our enemy told us everything backwards.
Mm-hmm.
It was either backwards or upside down or a combination of the two.
Right. How dare you think you can be part of what I'm doing?
Yeah, so if they told us that this map where they were bringing people this way, that means that they were taking people the other way.
Yeah. You know, but a lot of that information is readily available. You know, when you dive for it, we know families like the Bass family. You know, that's a well-known free people of color family. Or
there's another professor that talked about the actual sizing of the map. If you look up the actual size of the like that map is closer to the actual size, but it still makes the United States look like it's even half the size in it. When you can fit pretty much almost every outside of Antarctica, you can fit those areas inside of Africa. And they mentioned what's the closest, what state is closest to Africa? And the professor said Maine. So that means the maps that we look at, their proximity is wrong, and Africa is much bigger. That means the tip. That means if the Pangea was correct, the tip of the westernmost tip of Africa is closer to Maine, and if the southernmost tip is closest to the bottom of South America, Africa is the. But why would they tell us that?
All right, I got to tee off on Ori here for a second. Troy, you don't know where you got to peep some of the discussions in the chat.
The world is, thank God for the internet, made the world a smaller place.
Yeah, Ori he's from Baltimore.
Think about we have a generation of children that never saw little black kids with bald heads and flies on their stomach and said, "Oh, those are Ethiopians."
So, Troy, what I wanted to say to Ori is
there's a group of people that know exactly what Africa looks like, feels like, technology, the whole nine.
Can you hear me, Troy? Marsha, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Ori has a tendency to put these things, these little probes, arguing how melanated people arrived in the Americas is a 360-degree argument. It's meaningless. No, it's not meaningless, Ori. No, it's not. Because, Troy, let me ask you, how many times do you get to have this conversation with the people you interact with about your indigeneity, your indigenous roots? Is your sound on off?
Troy.
You there?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How often do you get to have this conversation with
Did you call me?
Troy? Yeah. Can you hear me?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Doesn't seem like it.
Oh, you couldn't hear me?
I can hear you.
You can't hear us. Can you hear us?
Somebody called me.
He can't hear us. Can you hear us?
Just taking out this charger.
Is it the delay?
Yeah, so the ice situation is I totally agree. I think there's it is a wag the dog scenario. That's the perfect way to put it, because there's no reason if Obama in 2 terms, and we knew nothing, we hear about it every now and then, how many people were being deported, but there was no reason for loud deportation when you're deporting people. But what is all this for now? Why is all this? It's just the nature of Trump. I mean, Trump has said it. He needs people applauding. He needs the pomp and circumstance. He needs all that stuff going on. But also, we know this much about government. The government is ran by that man who's in office. Everything that happens is happening. That person is just the figurehead while everything is going on. But we know that.
So, Horace, how you been?
Oh man, I'm okay, brother. I mean, I'm loving the snow.
You are?
Yeah, man. We used to shovel snow from off the basketball court, shoot balls in this kind of weather, man. And by the time we finished, all the snow around the court would be melted.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I ain't playing in no damn snow.
Yeah, we couldn't stay in the house. Wasn't no staying in the house.
No, wasn't no staying in the
After
house.
a while, you had one day to stay in the house while it was snowing a little bit, get outside, come back, frostbit. That next day when the snow is out there, especially my parents, like, you gonna go make some money or what? It's like, oh yeah, I guess I gotta.
And you could pay us to stay in the house when we was teenage. I remember my boy we was going to some party or something, man, and it was below zero weather, and we wasn't dressed properly, but you know, we young, we trying to look, you know, presentable for the young ladies. And my boy mama, she out the window. She said, y'all gonna die out there. We gonna take our chances.
So y'all gonna die out there.
Yeah, it was
What's
freezing
going
out
on in
there.
Tampa?
We ain't care nothing about that, man. Right.
Oh my goodness. I remember coming to the house. My mother, I come from a long line of nurses. My mother was a nurse, my grandmother and them. I remember being outside so long, you walk home. And then we don't think about it. We were traveling like miles away from home. We were going miles. I think about it as an adult now. You know how much crazy stuff our parents get into when your kid's gone for 8 hours, no babysitter needed. Like, go outside, I see y'all when it get dark. 8 hours? Could you imagine what you could do for 8 hours? Your kids would just leave and you ain't worried about them. They wasn't worried about us. I remember trying to come in the house early, and my mother be like, what's going on down there? I was like, oh, I was just coming to get some water. You can't drink water outside? I was like, what's happening that I can't come in the house?
And you ever see, I know Hannibal, where everybody wears snow at, but in the places where it get real cold, then you know how somebody got a fresh haircut, you know, the chicks got a new hairdo, but they ain't got no hat, and it's below zero. You know, you want everybody to see their haircut, everybody to see their hairdo, but you freezing standing on the bus stop. You know what I'm saying? But their hair look good though, man. Their hair look good.
Now they just said something different in Chicago. I ain't never heard this before. They said it's negative 51 degrees in Chicago.
I don't know about all that, man. No, it ain't no negative 51, man.
No, that'll kill you.
Chi-Town, hey, Chi-Town, say something. How cold is it there?
I'm about to tell you right now, but it ain't no negative.
That sounds like Alaska temperatures.
Chicago is serious. Got that.
We was colder than Alaska and Antarctica.
Oh,
it's 9 degrees, man.
Okay.
Yeah. But it ain't that bad.
South Bend, Indiana. That's some below zero stuff over there.
Yeah.
You said where?
I'm from South Bend, Indiana, born and raised.
That's right up the street. Yeah. But now Minnesota ain't no joke neither now.
Yeah, that's real.
I didn't even think about Michigan being right off of like Lake Michigan and all that. That cold they get there where the water freezes to the point where you can drive on it like Canada.
Yeah, we got 5.
They do up there in Minnesota, man. They be fishing.
It's so cold in St. Paul and Minneapolis that the architecture, right, is set up so that you don't have to go outside. You can do your banking, you can do your food. It's called the Skyway. That's how cold it is in Minnesota.
And
so
I
you don't gotta go out.
Minnesota, man. I love Minnesota.
I'm not doing that. That below zero mess is for the birds. Y'all got.
Where are you at now, Marsh?
I'm in Baltimore, but I was born and raised in South Bend, Indiana. And so family was over in Chicago and Detroit. So that was like way, I mean, when I say way below zero, that was not a joke.
It's so beautiful here. I didn't want to go outside because I didn't want nobody thinking I was talking about them.
Where are you
up there in Minnesota? It's you know how they're fish on the ice, or they're
right ice fishing.
Yeah, it's this one dude right on 94 Maplewood, because you know they got 10,000 lakes up there, but this one dude, the ice being melted and it be water, but he still be on this patch of ice out here. I'm like, this dude is he been doing this for a long time, because I could never even trust that man. You know what I mean? Yeah, the ice little patch of ice, he out there. I'm like, nah, man, that's too much, man. It ain't that serious.
It's a lot. That's some real cold, that Midwest stuff. Y'all can have.
Yeah.
We used to wake up early and go door to door, see who needed a snow shovel. I know we could know all the elderly people in the neighborhood. Try to get to them first.
Yeah. And do all that snow. And see, in South Bend, we get snow and it would blow. My bedroom was on the second floor, and then there was a roof on our front porch. and that snow would cover, and I'd have to go and kind of try to knock it out. It'd take forever. My dad said, "Why you keep doing that? It ain't going nowhere." Trying to make it move out of the way. It wasn't happening. It wasn't happening. It wasn't happening.
Somebody said that it was 60 feet of snow in Russia. Did anybody hear that?
Yeah, I seen it.
60 feet.
It was on top of
That's
buildings.
crazy.
Yeah.
It was on top of buildings.
No,
was
maybe they
sliding
were
on
60,
top of
60
buildings.
feet of snow in
Yeah,
Russia.
look at it
Well, I
down
don't know.
in-
Russia's a different animal.
Yeah, I'll
I heard
pass
they
on
get-
that one.
Yeah,
Hold on,
Russia's
I'm
a different
about to
animal.
show you.
Yeah.
Because they get stuff over there we never know about. They don't have the media we have.
Yeah.
Somebody's like,
they
we're just
want
letting you
to
know we're broadcasting live from snow. It's
Yeah.
like, where? We are in snow.
know. Stay out of
We
my
have snowfire.
Mhm. I love
Hey,
it.
you said you over there in LA?
Yeah, I'm in Los Angeles. It
You
was like
you know Chris Rock brother?
Tony Rock, yeah.
Well, his right hand man, Keon, that's my man.
Oh, Keon? Okay.
Uh-huh. I
I
seen
don't know.
Keon in a minute, man. I lost his information last time I
Keon,
seen him.
I don't know.
We was no, he from LA.
Oh, okay.
You know, but last time I seen Keon, we was in Atlanta, man, at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, freezing, waiting on the trains to slide back to rolling, man. Because I'm like, damn, they trains don't start rolling, man, at 6 o'clock in the morning over here.
Mhm.
Is that
Man.
a picture of Russia?
Yeah, that's the snow. They
Yeah.
were sliding down.
Is that a picture from Russia?
Yeah, could you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I hear you, but I don't see Russia.
Yeah, that's Russia.
Oh, it's
on
a
the
picture.
screen.
I think Donnie must have put a picture up. Somebody put a picture up.
Oh, I can't see
It
it.
looks
Yeah,
like
they
the
was-
snow is coming down the side
The
of
roofs.
a. That's scary.
Yeah, they
Like
were
the snow is
sliding
coming down the
roofs.
side of a apartment building.
Yeah, they were sliding down them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard that they told them to stop sliding down and stop doing that too.
Yeah, because if you slide down and go in, that's it.
That's
They
it.
can't get you. Who coming to get you?
Yeah, you smothered, right?
You gotta wait. And when does it melt? Because I don't know when the hot season is in Russia.
Wow.
Think about it, that's how you gotta watch out for propaganda. Every movie I ever saw, from Moscow and Hudson to White Nights, to Russia always had snow. I never saw Russia not having snow ever.
like even in the
So
summer.
I don't know what Russia looks like without snow. Every time I think about Russia, I think about snow.
Yeah,
It could
that's
be
why they
summertime.
drink vodka. They drink vodka to stay warm.
So I don't even know how something like that would. How do they get past something like 60 feet of snow?
It's a lot. I can't even fathom that.
That's crazy.
They don't
Yeah.
drink. They don't drink vodka to stay warm. They drink vodka to drink vodka.
So they drink vodka to drink vodka.
Yeah.
They freeze vodka. That's how I started putting vodka in the freezer when I was drinking.
Wow.
Damn, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, it just I don't know how long this weather supposed to last, but just hope people just stay safe and warm and stay in some warm places. in
So-
this
so-
weather here.
So
Okay.
You know, one thing about having seasons though. When you live somewhere where people really like, there are no real seasons here in California. We get some rain. We got back-to-back rain. It'll get cold. Some places in California will get snow, but Southern California, LA, it may rain once every 9 months. You get a week or 2 weeks, and the weather's pretty consistent. But when you're seasonal, you move differently. Like I remember, I learned that when I went to Tampa and worked on a project there in 2007 from January to March. People were like, Troy, you all over town. Tampa's like the size of Baltimore. Channel side is like the harbor, you know. So to not have to 70, 75 degrees every day and be able to go to Clearwater Beach and see Clearwater. That was the first time I seen Clearwater in the United States, and anywhere in the United States is Clearwater Beach in Tampa. But to move like that and be able to get around and do stuff, whereas like you say, it's February and people prepare for then they have a period of time, get what you can and stay in the house, and you have to hibernate, you have to chill for a bit. Online, you can do stuff online, but you know, people get a little cabin fever. But we move differently. We used to putting away summer clothes, bringing out winter clothes, putting away. We move differently than people who don't have seasons. When you're seasonal, you tend to be able to transition a bit better.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So Planet, I need to go to you. Planet, any thoughts on this? I heard
What, the weather was
in
manufactured? Who was Frenchie? Frenchie was like, they brought the weather over here from Africa too. It's like, oh shoot, they brought that wasn't this ain't the original weather.
Planet,
Yes.
your thoughts on the snow? I saw one thing in the news that said the snow had some electrical storm, lightning, something that has never been seen
Can't
before.
hear you, Donnie.
Yeah, you got to go out and come back in. Troy, you got to go out and come back in.
Oh, come back in.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that there's a tremendous smoke screen, right? And anytime that you have stuff on national news, right, and then independent news reporting maybe just a different angle, right? You can't fool yourself because the assumption is that the media is free, particularly the alternative media and da da da. But there is a cabal, let's say, that determines all media, right? So what about all media? Well, they want you to concentrate on something, right? Because they're doing something else. So once they get your emotions involved in what you're watching, you're kind of locked to it, right? But we're dealing with stuff, right? We're dealing with stuff like Hawk. We're dealing with the global financial situation, okay? We're dealing with the AI revolution, okay? So you have to watch your reaction so that you can think. Because this is a time to really be aware and really think.
Right.
If it looks one way and you have this obvious feeling about that one way, you need to stop and really, really explore whether whether or not it's true or whether or not someone is trying to manipulate you to keep you away from a bigger issue.
Mm.
Like most people think, well, this is Trump because the way he's acting, this is what okay? No. Mm-mm. There are people who are controlling that homie even. Right?
Right. Go.
So
You got
one thing we know about the American system is that it's a profit-oriented system. So they're always blinded by profit. They think about the people later. So something very, very serious is going down on multiple levels. I saw this thing where what's his name? Elon Musk is putting out a new phone. And they say that phone is going to eliminate Samsung and iPhone.
Mm.
And that he's also talking about a situation where you can put a chip in your head and activate your phone from your head. Okay? So something is happening. They're trying to reconfigure the planet, right? Based on an artificial reality. And they're trying to get everybody in it.
Yeah. And I agree with that.
I think all of this is just, I mean, it's heartbreaking. It's unfortunate, but I still see it as a smokescreen.
for something bigger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because they have already unleashed the technology with the chips, putting the chips in the brain and making quadriplegic people walk again.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, you remember when during COVID they got to talking about that 5G, but we don't hear about 5G no more.
Right.
You know, it kind of make you think. You know, it got to be something bigger than what we seeing. And it's whatever, whatever it is, it's going to be written in the history books, something different than what we're talking about now. You get what I mean? We're going to
Correct.
see it in the future.
Well, I caught that COVID, man, and I thought I was gonna check out of here.
Right.
I was in pain, man, beyond any pain that I've ever experienced, in my life, man. But it's one thing that I do notice that COVID was on counters. It was in 5G. It was within 6 feet of you and the next person, but nobody ever said anything about it being in the food.
Hindsight always 2020, or when you sit back and you start putting things together, it's like sometimes it can be too late. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had this thing where we'll have 2 snowballs, and we'll throw one snowball way up in the air. So while the person sitting up looking at that snowball, we sneaking with this snowball this way.
Right. That's
So
the
this is
game.
what's happening to the people.
And it's global.
Yeah.
You hit me
You
with
know,
that
the one-
snowball. We will have to move some furniture.
You know,
I mean, well, man, snowball fights, man. I mean,
Remember, people used to put rocks in the snowballs.
What?
Oh,
Really?
yeah.
now you talking about moving furniture now.
and then,
Yeah.
then it was the ice ball. You know, that
Ice
was a
ball.
whole another thing, Jack.
Yeah, then you take that ball and just wipe it smooth and it turn to ice.
Yeah, you know the
Wow.
one.
French Wee Wee said this earlier. Their time is up. They are pulling out all the stops. We are coming out of the 3rd dimension into the 5th.
Hmm.
Their DNA is not equipped for that. Reset.
Interesting.
I just want to know, the people who used to eat my ancestors, are they going to start eating themselves?
Well, see, it's different species amongst them. All of them don't do that. It's certain species
It's a
amongst them
different
that do
thing.
that, but due to the fact that we see a skin color, we think that they all the same. They're not.
Right.
It's a different world.
His brother said he took Moulane, Tony Green, IYOB. When I got COVID, my wife treated us with Moulane.
I heard
In
about
3 days, it was gone.
sea
Never heard of that.
moss and sea moss that's smelling like oranges. Like put the orange peels in the boiling water and they was sniffing that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Wow. A lot.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man, that we are dealing with, like Planet Whale said, this cabal.
I'm with you on the garlic. I'm sorry.
I mean, we can anyone imagine how lovely it would be just to get a break for 2 days straight
Of the racism, of the hate.
of everything, man.
No, the low
Yes,
consciousness.
Just 2 days, let alone a week or a month or a year or a few years. But we can't even have 1 day without the BS, man. 1 day, man. We talking
It's so bad that the day a preacher called me up for some advice on what to preach on.
I know that's
shit.
right.
J. Edgar Hoover was sending preachers letters what to preach on. So he should have contacted the feds. They'd have sent him a letter on what to preach on.
Yeah, that was a dirty one there. You know, he had black relatives, Hoover,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and that they killed to make for them to stay quiet about being related to him. And if
Oh,
you
they
look at
killed.
him,
You say they killed them?
yeah, Hoover. It's the Hoovers. It's some white ones and some black ones, and the white ones killed the black ones. So what happened was in their ancestry, it was one of them owns a black slave, a daughter, and she got pregnant by 3 brothers, and then they was her brothers too. Get what I mean? So J. Edgar Hoover comes from one of the lines, and some of the lines got blacks in it. And those blacks was made to be quiet about what the Hoovers did to them. So
That's
that
deep.
you can find that documentary on YouTube and stuff.
That's deep.
So it's the perversity and it's like a reckoning of what we was dealing with, and it ain't just one person, one group of people. Is us. It's amongst us as well, because it was people that looked like us that was leading the charge too. You get what I mean? What I mean by that, you had rich Moorish families, rich Moreno or mixed families within the stewards or the royal families and stuff like that, the tutors, the stewards and stuff like that,
Right.
Yeah, I think if the people get an opportunity to get a hold to the holy tablets that was brought forth by Malachi York, and look at the page on the 76 trillion years of us being in existence, the Hu memes and the Who memes, and dealing with the agreeables and the disagreeables. So it's always seeming as it has been a yin and a yang struggle, so to speak. But there has to be a divine line. You can't mix oil with water and expect to get Kool-Aid. So that's what Martin Luther King meant by, we've integrated his people into a burning house, because if we were segregated, I think that we would be doing much better. Like Black Wall Street and Rosewood and up there in man. We had it going on. Yeah.
A lot of black Cass County, Michigan is one place too that was filled with
Cassopolis.
Yeah, Cassopolis. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember in Chicago when you get off the Dan Ryan and get off on 79th Street going east.
Dan Ryan.
Yep.
Going down 79th Street was all black businesses.
Mm-hmm.
You could smell they had bakeries, they had cleaners, all the way down, man, and even 63rd, the Woodlawn area, when the L train used to extend all the way to Stony Island. I've heard stories about how back in the 60s, I guess, that you can drive down there, Red Fox and them would be standing out there, Richard Pryor, Della Reese, whoever, man. And but yeah, man, so they had to integrate in with us to confuse us and to keep us so they can keep siphoning our energy from us, man.
All right, so I want to go around the horn and get your advice for our young people out here. Some of us are parents, some of us are grandparents. We might even have some great grandparents on here watching, listening. Let's start with you, Lady Marsha Jews. You know something about raising kids. What's your advice to our young people?
So our young people is elementary, middle school, high school. One of the things that I think is really important is the young people from an elementary to that middle school, and making that transition has been very difficult with some of the programs that I've been involved in. When Alvin Ailey was here, we were dealing with Alvin Ailey Dance Theater Foundation of Maryland, and we were working with middle school children, and those young people have a lot going on at home, but also as they're growing and finding themselves, finding their voice and being able to articulate the things that they're going through. That was a very interesting time for me and for young people. And if anybody wanted to do anything, look at the middle schools. That is the next leap to the high schools and to college. But that middle school really needs help in identifying themselves and how they can work towards getting ready to go into regular school.
Okay. Planet Wells, your message to the young people.
Get the basics. Your reading, your writing, your mathematics. Get the basics. And after you get the basics, uh, inquire into who you are on the deepest level that you can.
Hannibal.
I think I pointed more first at the parents to promote more imagination with the children. You know, support their imagination. And then I would want to teach the children the difference between fantasy and reality. You know, teach them the repercussions of certain behaviors, you know, that they might see, you know, and really tell them the truth about counterproductive behavior. Put it that way. Tell them the truth. You know, tell them what type of person and what type of life they may encounter by having a counterproductive view on life. That's where I start.
Lee the fourth.
I want to tell the youth that rapping, basketball, football are not our only means of greatness. We're scientists, we're engineers, we're authors, we're educators. So we are far more than, you know, the only avenues that they try to push us down. So if you guys, you know, realize that and zoom in on what it is that you do best, and then that's what you make a career out of.
Well, Donnie, what's your advice for the kids?
Donnie, what's your advice for the kids?
Pray.
Yes, lots of it.
Get a relationship with the Creator.
Mm-hmm.
And get a relationship with yourself. Don't compare yourself to anybody except who you were yesterday. And find your purpose. They say the two most important days in a person's life is the day they were born and what planet?
The day they check out of here.
No, the day they find out why.
Okay, that's one way of looking at it. Yeah.
The day they were born and the day they find out why they were born. I know my mission. My mission is media. 1,000,000,000%. Media, all of that stuff. Writing, music, all of that. All of that. Yep, that's my lane. And it's called me. It's called me since elementary school. Called me since Sunday school.
That's great.
Public speaking. Get out there, do it. And don't be shy and have something to say and be able to speak intelligently on most any topic. But when you find what it is you love to do, you would almost do it for nothing. But because you know your value, you know you must charge and you must have some of the best prices in town. So pray, get a relationship with the Creator, and get a relationship with oneself. Learn to like ourselves. Learn to love ourselves.
It's real.
Healthy self-esteem, mental health, a healthy mental health. Mind right, the spirit right, then you can do all that other stuff. When I was a kid, I used to lifting weights. Still I got a hernia. And then I come to find out some of the cats who lifted all the weights are the biggest punks out there. I learned that man is mine. Man is mine.
All right.
Man is mine. That's my advice.
Thank
Buy Donnie Glover's books. Yeah, 4 of them, including the latest one, Black Blueprint. Baltimore to Burkina Faso. I guess the next time, look, I got 3-4 books got black in it. Unapologetically Black, I Am Black, Wall Street, Black Blueprint. So next time around, I think I'll be using melanated.
All right.
Because this show, they don't like black. And you know, on that note, it takes some of us a while. If you've been thinking one way for 50, 60 years, 80 years, and then somebody come and tell you, wait, you aren't a descendant of a slave, you're a descendant of a prisoner of war.
That part.
Say what? Yeah, your people didn't come in from Africa. What? All them times I studied the map of Africa, Madagascar, South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, Swaziland, Burkina Faso, Equatorial Guinea. You tell me they ain't my people? It's like, well, and the chat will keep you honest. The chat say, them Africans come over here, and I'm not saying all. I'm not saying all anybody. But stereotypically, them Africans come over here and they look at you like you less than. Well, a lot of them suffer from the same thing the Indians suffer from when they come here. The Pakistanis, they come here. They suffer from having watched white media before they even met us. I've said it. I've written it. You never know who might be your blessing. You never know who might save your life. You don't know. In Baltimore, if you call 911, paramedic, fire, they come out and help anybody. That's why I got a lot of respect for first responders. I in my 60 years, I've not met a racist first responder. I'm not saying they don't exist, but I personally have not. I've, as a matter of fact, I saw that I had to take up for this one white lady paramedic. The dude was out, he was high, but he was really, really disrespecting this lady, and I had to like calm him down, get him back to the path, because somebody's coming to save your life. You should have some basic gratitude.
Right. Appreciation.
They're trying to help your stinking ass out. And you want to cuss that lady out, call all kinds of white bees and all that. You can't do that in front of me. You know, I don't care who you are. Treat all people. Even, you know, there are some troglodytes out there. There's some aliens or otherworldly individuals. I don't know where they come from, because to just put a gun to the back of somebody's head and shoot it, that's an execution. That is murder. And this president and the lady in charge of Homeland Security, all of them need to be locked the F up. And I've really worked hard not to cuss on the show. Planet, big ups to you. You have not cussed in weeks. I'm proud of you. But ICE is off the hook. The elder said, I did consult with the elder today, and the elder said to me that I got to pray for Trump and I got to pray for these racists. Not praying for acceptance or anything, but I got to pray for their souls. That's what the shaman said on my side of the world, and I'm wrestling with it, but I did pray for the souls. But these people, their behavior, yeah, I hate their behavior. And if somebody put them down, that's street justice. But these people who defend these actions, those right wingers, and it's so interesting. We're not even in this. It's them turning on each other, and it shows you that the good white people. I give you this, Edmund Burke. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Good white people better step the hell up, because your president off the hook. Y'all put him in there, y'all need to take him out. He got to go. And that other one looked like a leprechaun behind him, take him with you.
Yeah, but that martial law, they ain't going nowhere.
They can go. Anybody can go. Come on now, you from Chicago. Anybody can get got.
I'm saying in the legalese portion of it, whenever a president declines martial law, he can't be impeached. And there are no more elections until their civil closure.
That's part of the mix. That's part of the mix.
Yeah.
So it's like bait.
Remember they brought crackdown neighborhoods? Nancy Reagan said, just say no. And I told you I got non-black addicts in my alley right now. Marsha, you got them in East Baltimore too. Non-black addicts all in our community.
Yep.
Begging.
Yeah, right before right before Nancy Reagan made that commercial, she did a few lines.
Well, tell them non-black addicts that are all in the black community, scrounging around, digging in trash. Now, tell them just say no. Now, I want you to know I'll help anybody suffering with addiction. Been there, been down that road. Rocks, dopes, cokes, did it, done it. Got T-shirts. We got places that will take you right away. There's treatment for people who are caught in the throes of addiction, and they ain't even got real dope out here nowadays. But that fentanyl, that carfentanil, that nitazene is real. So I will help anybody. Where I live at, they sell more dope here than Afghanistan. But we will help anybody. We feed anybody. We help anybody. We've seen it all. But that same poison, all of that to say, that same poison they brought to our neighborhood. Remember Freeway Rick or Highway Rick? Dude out in California, all this, I sold all this, blah, blah, blah. The end result, you carry poison, you're going to spill some on yourself. And you might sell all the dope in the world. You might never get high. But your child might be that one turn out be all the biggest dope fiend out there. And I don't like the word dope fiend, it's an addict. But you understand. I don't like the word junkie because I've been there. But real talk, you carry poison, it's bound to spill on you. Inevitable.
I think that last question they was talking about the fringe of the flags. I think it's a spear on top of the flag that symbolized the war because it got the eagle on one, then it got the spear on the other.
But those fringes, whenever you see the yellow fringes around the flag, that's a wartime flag.
Yeah, so it must got a spear at the top of it, at the metal piece at the very top.
Okay.
Marsha, since you got any we about to go into this closing. Any meditational thoughts, positive affirmations?
Yeah, I think that it's really important.
And thank you for joining us.
Yes, and thank you for including me. I think it's really important that we take this time to start spending time with our elders and our young people and making certain that we bring them together too. This is a very interesting time of year, and there are a lot of seniors that don't have the support system and the infrastructure. So if you have folks who are in your life or folks that you know about, they just need somebody to keep them company sometimes is what we need. So just keep in mind that there are people around us that need a support system and that we all can be helpful to others, even if it's just going to the grocery store for somebody.
Okay, you come over here and go to the grocery store for me?
Boy, don't you?
You like to walk.
Pharaoh, I'll come feed Pharaoh.
Don't wake him up, please.
I know.
All right. Anybody got any thoughts before we pass it to Planet?
Right offhand.
All right, Marsha, you ever experienced the boom?
The boom. I don't. The boom.
Sit back and meditate. Sit back and meditate. No.
The boom. Boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
It's your world, Planet.
So
yes, it is. Take it over.
For the question about the young people, this is a little process that we do, right? And it's just about your hearing, right? So I'm going to hit a bell, and you want to follow the sound of the bell as far as you can. That's all. It's not complicated, okay? It's easy. Just watch and listen. Okay. So let's take a few deep breaths. So I call it a bell. It's, it's a bowl made out of different metals and what have you. That's it. That's all it is, right? But it resonates. So the trick of this game is to follow the resonance and bring it in to yourself. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing too heavy.
If you find
Okay.
any money on the ground, Marsha, you gotta give it to me.
Wishful thinking.
Okay. And one more. Peace and blessings.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Peace and blessings.
Hey, can you pull that picture up right quick, Don, that I put on there? I want to show y'all something right quick. Have anybody ever seen or heard of the show Riverdale that was on the CW?
Yeah.
Well, I want y'all to look it up. It was about these so-called Native American gang called the Southside Serpents, and they were in the area. They never said where the area was at, but they were trying to protect the mounds that was in that particular area. So what I did was I pulled up where the actual location is, right up the street from where I am now. And to the sister in the chat who said that she was on 95th and King Drive up there by Chicago State University. Well, that's also a bunch of mounds on that college. But if that right here, well, beside where the word Riverdale is at, those are the Argyle Garden projects. But everything else that you see within the circle is actually Riverdale, Illinois. So those two arrows that's right there on the right side of the circle are the two mounds that they're speaking about that's in Riverdale. And so now these other three arrows that you see on the right side outside of the circle is what is Big Egypt. And so I didn't go into details about that, but I was just really wanting to show Riverdale, that particular show. But this is where they got their concept from. And I don't know if they were making a mockery out of the indigeneity of us being from the land and our ancestors being buried in a lot of those mounds. But if you see on the top side, I'm gonna show y'all one more thing. On the top side or the outside of the circle, those are all burial mounds where they dug the ancestors up at.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to smell that in the 80s. You could smell it. It was horrible. And I don't know if they ever thought that somebody would figure that out, but I'm here. So I see what they have done, and I know what they have done. But those are literally mounds where the ancestors was at, and all together within this whole area right here, I counted approximately 60 mounds and pyramids clustered together. Even some of the waterway to the top right, where they busted it up and filled it up, they build a waterway for for the river to fill up that pyramid with water. So I just wanted to, say that, but if anybody gets a chance to look up Riverdale, the show on CW, they'll see the premise and they
What's
see
it about, man? Is it black people on there?
Well, you already know ain't nothing us on there.
Well, what's the show about? Why would I want to watch it?
Well, no, I'm not saying actually watch it, but I'm saying that what it's actually about. It's about the so-called Native Americans being on, well, they got a so-called gang, a motorcycle gang called the Southside Serpents. And we know the serpent is dealing with the Nagas or the Kundalini, of dealing with the Mayan serpents, all the way to the Egypt, to the Uraeas, and to the Wajet. But it's sort of a mockery of the mounds and the ancestral burial sites of those particular mounds.
Well, I never really asked you this, but how do you feel about Chirac?
Well, I think that's ignorance in itself to name Chicago or a city like that when it's exploiting genocide. It's nothing to glorify, us killing each other.
Touche. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's stupid, but I'm only one man, and I'm pretty sure that I would have some pushback on that. But yeah, I don't condone that ignorance, man. But I do understand how the people got there.
Yes, those are mounds, and there were burning the bodies, the remains of American Indians of the Calumet area between Indiana
and Chicago.
Oh, Indiana.
Calumet. Yeah, she absolutely right. Because that river right there is the Calumet River. And like I said, man, when I was a teenager growing up, man, that smell was horrible. But all of that up there, burial mounds that they dug up, all over here, burial mounds. So
they dug up people and burned them?
Yeah, our ancestors. That's what I'm telling you, man. They've been killing us softly on many different dimensions, man, doing these rituals, et cetera, et cetera. But from Lake Michigan, from upper to the upper right, where I didn't capture that, but gone all the way back down into Gary, all the way over into Michigan, with nothing but pyramids that they leveled and destroyed. So just along the coastline of Lake Michigan, man, you probably got about 200 or 300 pyramids and mounds right there together.
So this Riverdale, this map, the top part is the north, right?
It's going north, exactly. And so where I was born and raised from right here, I'm still in the area right now. If it wasn't snowing outside, I can get in the car and be right there in 5 minutes or less.
So help me understand this river. It comes down and it winds. It looks like it goes up the top, comes south, and then it goes west.
Well, no, it does. It goes west, but it flows down into the Illinois River and the Des Plaines River, and it flows down into the Mississippi River. So It goes all the way through Peoria, down to the St. Louis area, et cetera, et cetera. But what I was trying to explain is that this is what they patterned the Egypt and Africa after.
Okay. And one more time, tell me where Big Egypt and Little Egypt is.
Well, Big Egypt is what you see where those 3 arrows are to the right.
That's Big Egypt.
Yeah, because that arrow at the bottom to the right is the triangular pyramid step pyramid that I sent you the picture of, where Waste Management has control over that pyramid?
That's where the third arrow is on the right.
Yeah, at the bottom. Yeah.
And the one that's fenced off, you can't get to it. You can't see
Can't
it.
get to none of them. Can't get to any of them. The ones that are the most powerful, that we have the most connection to, they have all of them fenced off and blocked off and restricted. And then the ones that are of super importance, Waste Management is in control of those. So whenever you got a people on the land that destroying the land consistently, because they haven't stopped destroying it, they destroy it daily. They're destroying us inadvertently.
Is this, you know what this lady is saying? Help me out with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Bishop Ford is right up the street from here. I can get in the car and be on the Bishop Ford in 3 minutes.
Oh, so the Bishop Ford is a highway.
Yeah. There's 94 east and west.
She says, I cry knowing this, and driving down Bishop Ford, I weep knowing all of this is painful. Help me out, Horace.
I feel the same way. Like I was saying on the last show, I had a load that I picked up in Joliet, and I used to do rail yard work out there, getting containers from the rail yard, and I didn't even realize that it was 8-9 gigantic pyramids in Joliet till 2 weeks ago. And I asked the ancestors to forgive me for not realizing that those monuments were there all those years.
Yeah, that movie talk about that CERN. What's the name of that movie? Chain Reaction. Talks about the CERN in Chicago.
Okay, y'all throwing out these fancy terms. Do me a favor. When you introduce something like that, tell us what it is.
It's a chain reaction. Talking about when they breaking down atoms real small and making them collide. They got a machine there where these atoms collide, and it's like a nuclear reaction when atoms collide.
Yeah, they split an atom about 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's what. Yep. Yeah. So I know, like you say, the Bishop Ford. I know that Ford part mean Edsel Ford, because we got Edsel Ford in Detroit. So I don't know what the Bishop mean down there.
Well, no, that I think that was somebody's actual name.
Okay.
Ford, well, well, it might be okay. Y'all see where that top arrow is at on the right side?
Yeah.
So now you see where that river sort of forks at, but that white right there to the top right, that white, well, that's the Ford plant where they manufacture Ford cars at.
Okay.
So that's an entire pyramid that they leveled.
Mm.
And even the land behind that is an entire pyramid that they leveled. But that's the Ford plant right there.
Help me out with this one more time. What is this again? Hannibal?
They got that's a machine where they put atoms in there and make them go so fast that they collide. You know what I mean? And when they collide, it's like a nuclear bomb. But I think the movie Chain Reaction with I think Keanu Reeves is where it talks about this. I think something happened there is where this facility was about to blow up or something like that. Am I correct, Horace?
I'm not familiar with that, brother.
Okay.
Yeah, but see, we like Hannibal said, we got to realize that cabal, those guys are alchemists.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is how they got the people under the spell, through various forms of alchemy, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, that smell, that's what I'm saying. That smell was horrible, man. I'm talking about I had headaches from that. And I'm pretty sure, man, that could be a class action lawsuit against that. Because it was nothing that you could do all day, all night, every day, all day, all night, every day, all day, all night for years. Yeah. But I don't think that they ever thought that somebody would figure this out. But I'm from right here, so it was incumbent on me to figure it out somewhere down the line. All praises to the ancestors.
You see how big that circle is, that track where they sending them atoms in, 56 miles wide. long or circumference. I mean, and they send them atoms along that circumference, and they make them collide. And that goes into like quantum physics and stuff, the unknown, the seen and the unseen. So, that's what when Horace say our children need to go into this engineering and science. This is what we're talking about here. This type of things.
Yeah, but see, they got us wanting to throw basketballs and run up and down the field, sing and dance all day long.
Yeah, an alchemist is a historical practitioner of a philosophy combining science, mysticism, and art, aimed at purifying materials, specifically transforming base metals into gold and creating the elixir of life for immortality.
Like the fountain of youth.
Yeah, that's one definition of it.
Oh, what is yours?
Well, no, it's with alchemy. That's one of the partial foundations of it, but it's basically chemistry and spiritual magic and turning certain minerals into other things. Because when you study alchemy, those alchemists, man, were taking dirt, water, fire, and ether and making gold out of thin air.
Just like taking artificial flavors and taking different chemicals, bitters and sweets or whatever they call them in chemistry, and making artificial flavors. Things taste like peaches and watermelon. You get what I mean?
Right. And ain't got no pieces of watermelon nowhere near them.
Nowhere near them, but it tastes like it.
It's all the artificial trying to overcome the natural.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then on top of it, what they do, like how you were saying, Hannibal, they make the chemicals with the orange flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Then when they add that orange dye in there, they got you hooked. Then
they got you hooked.
The orange dye, man. Yeah.
And a lot of people think they don't be eating pork, but they be eating pork with the yellow and red dyes and stuff like that in the food. If you eat Jello, that's all pork gelatin.
Yeah.
So it's like he was saying, it's the combination of chemicals. They did that. It used to be kind of banned in society for mixing certain things. Alchemy was banned.
And I'm glad the sister in the chat, she must be from the area, just like the other sister said. She from 95th and Kings Ride, which is literally right up the street. So she up there by Popeyes and Sharks. But
Since we know all this, when we gonna put a spell on them? I mean, damn, I'm getting tired of hearing about what's being done to us. Can y'all, whoever's listening, can you like whip up something and send it on over?
Let's see, that's what we're talking about, man. Tapping into that spiritual.
Don't say it on the show. Go ahead and I give you permission. I approve this message. Drop it off.
I know that's right, brother. That's what it's gonna take, though.
Yeah. The cereals, special colors of cereals. Canada don't even have, like, we right across about 5 minutes from Canada. They don't have no artificial flavors in their cereals and stuff like that over there. Whole different types of food right across the water.
Right. All right. Thank you.
Marcia, thank you very much for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
Well, this was really enlightening. We'll have to do this again.
For sure.
This is wonderful. Thank you.
Excellent.
All.
Peace.
Pleasure.
God bless y'all.
God bless you.
Y'all ready for these libations, man? Or y'all
Yes, sir.
Okay, I want to resurrect the righteous matriarchs and warriors amongst the Mayans, the Olmecs, the Washita mound builders, the Muskogee, the Choctaw, the Red Sticks, Apache, the Sioux, the Cheyenne, the Sauls, the Miamis, the Comanches, the Tomahawks, the Illini, the Shawanese, the Kickapoos, the Potawatomis, the Wyandots, the Delawares, the Ottawas, the Kuikans, the Navajos, the Utes, the Wichitas, the Tawakonis, and the unification of the tribes known as Seminoles. And want to send the honors out to Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the great Queen Neitha, the most honorable Empress Vidayasi, Chief Redbird, Chief Warhorse, Dr. Francis C. Wilson, Dr. Ari Khanna, Sister Shahrazad Ali, Ashada Shakur, Angela Davis, Mama T, Sister Vicky Dillard, Dr. Joy DeGrew, a sister on the YouTube by the name of the Chris. I'd like to resurrect those sisters that you see behind me, Sandra Bland, Breonna Taylor, and Sonia Massey. Want to send a special shout out to the Queen El Hadre Bey, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm Malik El Shabazz, Dr. Khaled Abdul Muhammad, Dr. Delbert Blair, the Honorable Taj Tariq, and Dr. G, the Honorable Dr. Claude Anderson, Sun Ra, Patrice Lumumba, Professor P.L.O. Lumumba, C. Freeman Hill, Dr. Martin Luther King, Che Guevara, the most honorable Dr. Malachi York, Amali Yeshatila, my right-hand man, Julius Malema, President Ibrahim Traore, and General Barbecue, the beloved brother Bobby Hemmett, the Honorable Reverend Phil Valentine, Nellie Fuller, Fred Hampton, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Clarence 13X, Anthony T. Browder, Professor James Smalls, Dr. Booker T. Coleman, Rod Hayes, Young Elder, Dr. Ray Hagan, Steve Coakley, Billy Carson, 19 Keys, Dan Calloway, Karimio Ahua, Rizza Islam, the legendary Top Cats, my man over at Taylor House Publishing, Dr. Sebi, Layla Ha Africa, Yaki Awakening, King Randall, and Free Rashad Jamal. I'd like to send a special shout out to the Honorable Donnie Glover for providing us with this platform for us to reach our people. The Honorable Planet Wells for providing us with our spiritual guides during these troublesome times. The beloved and honorable brother Hannibal James for his knowledge and wisdom on genealogy. And the young and wise and intelligent brother Mafia Shakur for his knowledge, wisdom, and overstanding. And to all of our viewers who are 100% on our team in this monumental and indigenous movement here on Turtle Island, Ashe.
Horace Lee the fourth.
Be the fourth.
Gratitude,
And Mafia. We say
Mafia.
Mafia.
Oh, yeah, I said Mafia. I got Mafia, man.
You got mafia in there.
And who are those ladies behind you? I don't want no smoke.
Breonna Taylor. Yeah, Breonna Taylor, Sandra Bland, and Sonia Massey. I most definitely added those sisters into that list, as well as resurrecting them by having their pictures behind me.
Ashe, Trayvon Martin, Freddie Gray, Mike Jones, Eric Garner, and all those other people who died at the hands of law enforcement in this land. And like Hart say, made a creator send these aliens away from Turtle Island for good.
Ashe.
We'll be back Tuesday night. I start school Wednesday, man. I'm geeked to go back to school, man.
Are you going back to school, man? Wait a minute. I thought you had a massive, just like
started my doctoral program.
Hey, what Black Thought said? He said it's lonely. He said he's lonely at the top, but I'm gonna keep climbing because I'm only at the top.
Yes, sir.
No, that's right.
It's never too late to go back to school. For anybody out there, it's never too late. And when you go back, be serious about it. Older students are serious about it. I will tell you that. I am. That's time and money. Of course we are. When we're young, we got those opportunities, take them Pell Grants for granted. I tell you, 20 turns to 30, 30 turns to 40, just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that. Have one baby. All of that, you started off thinking one way and then ooh. But it's never too late. When I first went back to college to get my bachelor's, it was a lady in my piano class who was 75 years old, Miss Regina. I'll never forget it. She will always be my inspiration. Because I said, if she could think that at 75, I know damn well I can do it. Oh, man.
Shout out to Les Brown, too.
Awanasa.
Big Ma Baby, DJ Sweetness, French Wee Wee. She was on a roll at night. Awanasa, Big Ma Baby. And they chased away we had a troll in there earlier. They chased him. Harold Thornton, thanks for coming out tonight. Night Crave. a Marylander.
Yeah, shout out to my Chi-Town sisters from the South Side, man. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Rosalyn Poorman. Yeah.
Harsh,
DJ Sweetness.
you resting? You not driving tonight?
No, man, I'm taking a chill pill until this weather slows down, man.
Thank God.
Good deal.
Yeah, I got to, man. I seen a lot of wrecks out there, man.
Yeah. You
within
should.
Ain't
the
nothing
last
worth
week,
going.
so-
Get it. Get in the house.
Exactly.
Lay low.
Yeah, I'm about to go in here and eat some of these vittles, man. I'm my stomach growling a little like something, you know.
Me too.
Me too.
Good evening, world.
Peace.
All right.
brothers.
Peace.
Peace.